friends, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Lisa, and I love to do videos on luxury handbags, ready-to-wear, shoes, and some styling videos. And I do those things from the standpoint of someone who is in the middle of her life, as well as someone who is mid-size. So if you're interested in that kind of content, I would love it if you would click the subscribe button down below and the notification bell so you know every time I upload a video. So today's video is a tag video, and the tag is 5 brands that I won't buy from, which is a very interesting topic once you start thinking about it. And I was tagged by Nick from Living Life Loud with Nick, or actually it's NJS now. And he was tagged, or the original creator is Mary from Lumi Level Up. And I will have both of their videos linked below. So please, after you're done with this video, go check them out. Subscribe to their channels if you aren't already. And I think that you will enjoy both of those creators because they are both fantastic. We're going to go with, like I said, the 5 brands that I came up with that I just don't see myself buying from. Now, a little asterisk here. I'm not going to say I will never buy because I don't like the word never. It makes me uncomfortable. It's sort of like saying always, right? You never want to say sort of one or the other because it probably isn't really correct. Now, the brands I have on here, I really don't foresee myself buying from, but you never know. They could come up with something absolutely fantastic that just really sparks my interest and, a flutter in my heart, and I would buy it. But at least based on what they've released so far, I'm not planning on buying anything. So let's get into those 5 brands. So the first brand is Jacquemus. Oh, I'm just going to say it. I just don't get it. I just don't get the aesthetic of this bag, or of this brand, I should say. And it's because I don't get the aesthetic of their bags. While I appreciate their sort of innovative designs and sort of, what they've done with handles and things, it's just not me. It's not something that I would buy. It's really the proportions that are just off for me. And, while I appreciate a good, TBE moment, as Cassie would say, it just, yeah, I would buy other brands to get a little bag that fits, a Tic Tac than I would with Jacquemus. It just doesn't speak to me. I think it's the Legrand Bambino, something like that. I'll be flashing some pictures up on the screen. You've probably already seen some already by this time of some of their styles that I just, don't get. But that one in particular, for some reason, reminds me like of a Senreve bag. And no shade to Senreve. I've never seen one of their bags in person, but again, that's not really my aesthetic. I guess I could have put them on the list. They're not on my list, but if we're going to go with an honorable mention, Senreve would probably be one. Jacquemus bags, I don't like the proportions. I don't like the styles. I don't like these giant handles, which are like 3 times the size of the actual bag. It doesn't work for me. So the next one is Balenciaga. And, I think whoever I tag, I think a lot of people would put Balenciaga on their list, at least right now. I think, let's call a spade, or, the elephant in the room is, their recent ad campaign and how horrendous it was and how they didn't take responsibility for the longest time, et cetera, et cetera. So that, is sort of like check, okay, don't want to buy from them because I personally don't feel comfortable supporting a brand who would do something like that and then really not want to take accountability for it. But that part aside, I will get into some other reasons why I won't buy from Balenciaga. I guess the biggest part is that I've just never been attracted to their designs. And again, be popping some pictures up here. I just, I don't like those like tassel things. They just seem to have like a lot of stuff hanging from their bags. I don't want tchotchkes is a Yiddish word, like sort of hanging from my bag. It's just not my thing. I think I've realized that, for example, the one rodeo that I bought, I, you know, ended up selling because I'm not a bag charm person. So I think the Balenciaga bags kind of have that same sort of feeling. I mean, it's not necessarily like a bag charm, but they just have like all these like pull things and like I said, strings and tassel-y kind of things. I don't like tassels on bags either. So that's probably one of the biggest reasons why I don't like Balenciaga bags. But yeah, I just, none of their styles speak to me. So yeah, in general, I would just say that Balenciaga bags are just a little too busy. There's just a little too much going on. It's just, I think, the busyness of their particular bags and their brand that just doesn't go with what I'm looking for. The next brand we're going to talk about is Chloe. Now, Chloe has been around for a long time. They, have had a very long history of lots of different bags. They had some huge it bags like back in the sort of like early 2010s kind of to like 2015-ish, I think. But yeah, it's just not for me. Now I know everybody is into the Woody tote, and you know, it's fine. I've seen it in person. It's a tote. But honestly, to me, it's incredibly overpriced. And for basically the exact same look and style, I can get a Marc Jacobs bag for like a quarter of the price. And I frankly like the Marc Jacobs ones better. Even though the Woody tote is one where like I get why people like it, I personally would use my money to buy something else instead that serves the same purpose. In addition to that, I just was never a fan of like the older models of Chloe bags. So like the Marcy bag, which I think maybe they still have in some iteration, just again wasn't my style. The Tess bag, which is the one that has like the ring in it, I don't know. Every time I see those bags, I just think it looks like a bull with a ring through its nose. Does anybody else see that? Yeah, anyway. And then the bracelet bags, I just have never gotten that. Like, I think I've had this discussion on the channel before when talking about the YSL wristlet. I just I'm not a wrist person. I'm not going to have a bag dangling. No, I mean, obviously, I have bags that I wear like crook the arm, but I don't generally have it on my wrist. It's either I'm hand holding it or it's in the crook of my arm. Like I'm not generally having it dangle from my wrist. So, just in the same vein as I don't like wristlets, the whole bracelet bag thing that Chloe had going on, again, just not for me, not my aesthetic, not what I would personally use. The next brand that I will not be buying from is MCM. I honestly, does anybody buy MCM bags? I'm not trying to be rude, but I just, at least the people that I follow and the people, that I watch their YouTube videos or that I follow on Instagram, I'm not seeing them carrying any MCM bags. So I'm sure, I mean, clearly there's a market for them, right? Because they still exist. So somebody's buying MCM bags. I just don't know who that is, and it's not me. I I don't like these kind of videos from the standpoint of I feel like I may offend people. And please understand again with the caveat that if you love these bags, please continue to wear them. I would never like look down on somebody who carries one of these bags or think or anything negative about somebody who carries any of these brands or bags that I'm talking about. It's just my personal preference, right? And that's what this channel is about, which is my personal preference. Reminds me of a video that Deb just did from Wild Unfiltered. So I find their monogram tacky. I don't know why. I mean, it's just MCM. I don't know. It's always kind of looked tacky to me. It looks like a logo that somebody was using to like fake another brand's logo. Does that make sense? Like, I don't know if you guys have ever seen this. Like, instead of like the GG for Gucci, they'll put like a C and a G, right? It's like it's not the same. They're not counterfeiting. They're not. It's not a replica because it's not trying to be Gucci. It's not the Gucci brand, but like they modified it a little bit. That's just kind of what MCM reminds me. I don't know whose monogram I think that they're sort of trying to dupe in a bad way, but that's just the way it comes off to me. And it just some of their bags, honestly, look like things that you could buy at Claire's. Again, I feel horrible saying this, but it's just like the backpacks. They sell a ton of backpacks, and I'm not really a backpack person, but yeah, it looks like something that Hannah would have bought at Claire's like when she was 7. So yeah, MCM not going to be purchasing from. And the last brand is Miu Miu. Now, I don't know that I've ever walked into a Miu Miu store. I've seen some of their bags. If you go like into a Prada like outlet store, they usually will have like a Miu Miu section as well. So I've seen some bags there. I've probably seen Miu Miu bags at like Saks or something, but I think I don't look at them because again, they don't really suit me. Miu Miu feels a little young to me. So, maybe if I was in my 20s, it would be something that I would enjoy. Their styles just seem, like I said, a little young to me. And again, don't want to offend, but it just kind of seems like they're Prada's like trashy little sister. Again, I don't want to offend anybody if you love Miu Miu, but yeah, I mean, Miu Miu is owned by Prada, so that's what it feels like to me. It's like they're like trying to be like Prada. It's like, it's like Prada's their big sister, and they want to be like Prada, but they're missing the mark and doing it in kind of a trashy way. Like I don't like that pleating at all. And again, I'm a texture person, so you'd think that I would like be all over the pleating that they do, but it reminds me of like a sick liver. Like if you've ever seen a pic, and I'm not going to put a picture up here. Have you ever seen a picture of like a liver that has like cirrhosis that's been like removed or whatever? That's just what it reminds me of. And I am sorry for the visual that I am now creating in everyone's mind, but that's what I see when I see a Miu Miu bag. So yeah, I see a sick liver. But anyway, it just, like I said, a little too young, a little too trying too hard. Yeah, I think that's all I can say about Miu Miu. It's just not a brand for me. So that's it. Those are the 5 brands plus maybe a little bonus one of Senref, which I didn't really mean to include but it probably belongs here. So 5 plus a bonus, I guess, of brands that I will not be buying from, at least not for the very long foreseeable future. But at the moment, nothing that they either have produced or are currently producing are things that I would like to pick up and add to my collection. So what about you all? What are the brands that when you start thinking about it, are like, you know what? Yeah. You just like walk past them, if you're at like Neiman's or Saks or something, or you're on the street and there's luxury stores, you just like walk right by. You're like, yeah, don't need to go in there. What are those brands for you all? I will certainly tag some creators down below because I would love to hear their perspectives as well. So make sure you check that description box to see who I have tagged so you can go watch their videos when they do them. Thank you again to Nick for tagging me in this video. I really, really appreciate it. And thank you all for watching. I hope wherever you are in the world, you are having an amazing day or evening, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye, guys.